As we enter a brand new year, there are renewed calls for a 4-day work week. The latest calls coming from U.S. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy. Take a listen.
Talk about loneliness. Part of the policy is social media regulation, but it's also free time and leisure time, right? Giving people the space where they can go join a church or a social club. It's about connection.
Yeah, you want a 4-day work week.
I want a 4-day work week. I want more functional third places, right? I want more community pools, and I want more vibrant churches.
All right, a lot to break down there from the senator as you take a live look at the big board right now. Again, still hovering down about 140 points, the Dow here, just at opening bell opening a couple of minutes ago. For that, we'll bring in Hilary Fordwich, a global business consultant. Hilary, good to see you, and thank you for coming on the brand new year. So can we go back to the senator's comments about a 4-day work week? He'd love to see it, but he cites loneliness as a reason for this to happen. Would that be the reason?
Well, pleasure to be back with you, Sean and Emma, for this new year. Well, who, first of all, does he think is going to pay for that? That's very interesting. Obviously, it's a government official that would say something like this. But when he talks about loneliness, so you have more companionship when you're working remotely at home alone in your apartment. So that's a little bit of a conflict. And who would have thought it would be a Democrat that would start advocating for religious institutions? But I will say this, there was a study conducted by Ernst & Young back in 2022 in the UK. 500 companies participated in this, and the results were that 46% of those 500 companies said their employees were more productive. And don't forget, there's two factors here. Slippery slope. We used to, about a decade ago, we're talking about having Friday afternoons off in the summer, and now it's creeping. And last year, the United Auto Workers, one of their demands was for a 32-hour work week. That didn't go through, but I must say, Sean, it's definitely on the table this year. But it only will happen from when the private sector really decides that it's needed as a competitive edge for talent recruitment.
Really interesting. We've seen some people say, I like working from home so much, I'm only going to look at those sort of jobs that offer that.
Yes,
but Hilary,
you're right, Emma.
Would this 4-day work week be more industry specific? Not everyone could really do that.
Well, again, that's a good question. It will, again, depend on the competitiveness within an industry. For example, healthcare, that's going to be an industry that is booming. And with it's called the graying of America. Obviously, baby boomers, 10,000 retire now every day. By 2030, the majority of the workforce will be retired. So in the healthcare industry, where they're desperate for staffing, maybe that will be something that will be offered for recruitment. But it won't happen in an industry where there's an overabundance of employees.